Hey guys, my question to you before we jump into this video is, do you have an abundance mindset? That's my question to you. First things first, guys, do you have an abundance mindset? Let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think. I'm going to give you some things about my journey and how I started. And I'm going to tell you some things that really hurt me along the way. It's really the one problem that really kept me poor. It's probably keeping a lot of people poor right now in a society where there's abundance all around us, right? There's opportunities everywhere we turn. There's opportunities for us to make more money. But I'm going to share my story with you guys and see if it resonates with any of you, kind of about your story right now or in the past few years or past life or past decade about money. Guys, I started my money journey about 20 years, a little over 20 years ago with nothing, zero, zilch. Okay, I was 30 years old. I had a negative net worth. I was living in an apartment, didn't own any houses, didn't own anything really. I had a 1996 Honda Civic. It was green, 4-door, stick shift. I owed about $25,000 on my student loans, and I owed about $15,000 on the Honda Civic also. But what I'm going to share with you guys in terms of my story is the thing that I began to do that changed my trajectory when it came to money and my net worth and my financial situation. And it really changed the rest of my life. 20 plus years later, I'm doing a whole lot better when it comes to money, guys. But I had to figure this out in order to get out of poverty, right? The one thing that I did was I had to change the way I thought or the way I was thinking about money, about wealth. The way that I was thinking back when I had that Honda Civic and I owed that student loan and lived in an apartment, the way I was thinking about money back then was a poverty type of mindset because that's where I came from. Now, I thankfully had a mother who, although we were in poverty, she didn't quite let us fully immerse ourselves and our brains in poverty, right? She's a big time reader and always kept a lot of books around us. But regardless of that, growing up in poverty, but not quite being immersed in the poverty mindset, I still had a mindset of lack, even when I was 30 years old, right? Being just stuck, right? Repeating the same cycle of things with money. And wealth and so forth. So I know I had a lack of mindset back then, guys, because my outcomes by the time I was 30 years old, my outcomes was still very, very poor. So I was accustomed to thinking like a poor person, thinking like a person that was believing that I was always supposed to struggle with money. I was always supposed to have a little less than everybody else with money, or money was difficult, or something that was too far out there for me. What happened was I began to start gaining some new information, some new knowledge. I started putting new knowledge in my head, and that's really what the catalyst was for me to change the trajectory of my life, my finances for the rest of my life, was putting new things in my brain about money, about what was possible, and just putting the knowledge in my brain and reading some stuff and watching some infomercials, right? That stuff, that's not enough, right? I had to actually begin to figure out how I was going to apply that new knowledge, right? So I started, guys, in the late 90s, and I was listening to real estate guys on the TV, right? You had your infomercials and so forth. And they had these real estate guys that would come on there late at night, like Carlton Sheets, if any of you remember him. And he had this set of cassettes and he would, end up buying that cassette tapes because I used to watch him, and he'd be sitting on the yacht with his family around him, right? And all these people around him and talking about how, no money down, and you can buy this and you can buy that and you can live the rest of your life comfortable. I mean, he was really convincing, right? So the late night infomercial stuff kind of got me, right? The no money down real estate. And this is long before, obviously, there was any internet. There was no YouTube, right? There was no social media. I had to go to the library to get books and meet people and all this kind of stuff. But these late night infomercials provided some type of motivation for me to actually start learning and putting the new stuff in my brain. I had to actually go out and seek the stuff. I couldn't sit at home, right, to get the information I needed, the new information. Guys, do me a favor. If you're stopping by this channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you're getting any value out of what we're going to be talking about here, guys, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. So I had to conjure up, guys, ultimately a vision about what I actually wanted when it came to money. I had to begin to say, okay, what do I want? Where do I want to go? What are my goals going to be? I had to get the vision first. Then it's what are the goals that I'm going to accomplish or want to accomplish? I had to start thinking and having a vision and then figuring out, okay, goals and write down the goals. I used to do this stuff, guys. You look at the compound interest tables and, start writing down what I want, just writing down my goals and all this good stuff. And I was a teacher, so I used to teach how to goal set and how to write down action steps. And then I began to apply that to my own life. That's the second time I said apply, right? Apply myself, apply the new knowledge, apply. I had to apply the stuff. I couldn't just think. I had to actually do something about the dreams and the visions and the goals that I had, right? So I started writing this stuff down, and all of a sudden, guys, I began to think differently about money, right? Think differently about my philosophy, my values, what I wanted to achieve, what I could achieve. And all of a sudden, guys, I began to believe that it was possible that I could have more when it came to money, when it came to wealth, right? I just began to say, you know what? What is my philosophy about money, and how can I get to where I want to go with money and achieve what I want to achieve with money based on my actions, right? My vision, my goals, and my actions. What am I going to do every day to get there? So I started thinking abundantly, right? Thinking about abundance and changing my values, because the values I had up until I was 30 years old, they led with the values with money. They led to a negative $30,000 net worth. So if I wanted to change the next 30 years, I had to completely change the way I was thinking about money. And that's what began to spark a lot in my brain, guys. I began to understand the purpose of money, what I could use money for, not just giving to other people, because I did begin to learn about giving and helping other people, and the fact that, you give it, it comes back to you, right? You give it away and you help as many people as possible and you get what you need, right? That's part of what I began to learn about money. And I began to understand money's potential, right? What could money ultimately do? And what is the purpose of money? What am I going to use money for? Money's going down in value every day because it's losing value to inflation. Now, how can I flip the script and use this money to go turn it into appreciating assets? So I begin to totally revamp the way I was thinking about money. And I begin to understand money's a potential, but also money's limitations, right? What could money not do? What were some of the other tools besides money that I could use to start with, right? And so I began to learn to understand the belief and have the belief that, I can have money too. If I just follow certain steps and do certain things, I can have what they have. But I have to follow a process. I have to begin to understand what money's for, how I can utilize money to reach my visions and my goals, and also what are the limitations of money, right? So I had to get a whole new understanding of money. I had to revamp the way I thought about money. This revamping of the way I thought about money is what ultimately led me out of poverty, to not be poor anymore, right? So it wasn't just about helping people with the money and seeing the compound interest tables and real estate and understanding all these different avenues that I could go to change my financial situation. But it was also about money is just a tool. It's just one tool. There's a lot of assets and things in the world besides money. Money is just one. So all these revelations about money that I had to have, guys, all these new revelations and new ways of thinking about money and new understanding of it is what really brought money to a whole different concept and a different level, and allowed me to think differently about money to get to where I want to go with money, right? Change my philosophy about money. I begin to thoroughly understand money, not just from a poverty mindset, but from an abundance mindset, and also understand the fact that, hey, abundantly speaking, there's enough out here for all of us. There's enough out here for all of us to have plenty. Money, resources, right? There's plenty out here. So these are the types of things that really led me out of poverty, right? The fact that money is currency, right? Money is one piece of currency. It has to flow in order to grow, right? Money has to keep flowing, right? But there's also education. There's also skills. There's also network of people. There's also new information, right? All of these things are tools of wealth or currency besides money. Right? I had to really understand that and begin to think about that. So that's part of what led me to where I became better with money. I became a better steward and also a better manager of money. And I also had to realize that, money, my thoughts about money is what led me to where I was. And I have to take the responsibility or the power to actually understand that and to change it. I had to take full responsibility for where I was with money. That was my power. The responsibility with my money was my power over my money, because that gave me the ability to make the right changes with money in terms of my behavior. And my behavior, my thoughts led to my behavior, and my behavior led to my outcomes. And some of you may be saying, you know what? That's all it takes is thinking. It starts with thinking, right? It starts with how you believe and how you think, right? Again, that's going to translate over into how you act and how you behave with money, right? The brain is powerful, right? I think we sometimes don't understand how powerful this brain is. Now, when I understood that, everything changed for me in terms of my money. Everything changed in terms of wealth building. Now, it didn't change overnight, and it didn't change without mistakes and problems and issues along the way. It's a process. Learning is a process. Learning doesn't just take place just like that, right? It takes time to get better with money. It takes time to reprogram your mind with money. It takes time to change your behaviors with money, right? But over time, you ultimately look back and you see how you evolve and how you change. But your mind has more to do with where you are right now with your money than anything else. You've thought your way to whatever your net worth is right now. You've thought your way to whatever issues or problems with money that you have right now. It started right here. If you have money problems, you need to blame how you think about money. If you have no money right now, guys, you need to be blaming your mindset with money, because as soon as I begin to do that, that's when I begin to change. Your checkbook right now, your net worth right now, your income and your expenses right now is just a sum total result of your thinking about money up to this point. When you take that kind of responsibility over your money, you become infinitely more powerful. Nobody can touch you when you understand that you control the destiny of your personal financial situation, right? But you got to have an abundant mindset. You have to expect the best outcomes. You have to expect that there's plenty out there for you and for everybody else. Because why would you be helping other people, right? Part of my money journey was helping other people, giving and giving and giving. And part of that giving says that there's plenty enough out here for us, so I'm going to help you. I'm going to pull you along the way. That's an abundant mindset. You can do it. It's for you. Money, you're supposed to make money. You're supposed to earn money. You're supposed to have all that you need and have the money you need to do the things that you want to do. You're supposed to, but you've got to change your mind before you go out and change your credit score. You've got to change your mind before you begin to leap into side gigs and side hustles. You got to change your mind before you can really begin to build tons of wealth and go out and buy that rental property and go out and increase your investments in the stock market, right? All those things are good and great. You want to do them, but a change of mind is going to put you in the right mind frame to actually go out there and really build some sustainable wealth. Now, for me, it was all about my mind first. Hey guys, I hope you got something of value out of this quick video. Do me a favor, guys, and let me know what you think about this concept of what kept me poor. And I want to hear from you guys. So what do you think keeps a lot of people poor, even though they may live in a society where there's opportunity all around them? Smash that like button below for me, guys, and get your free ebook in the description box below, The 24 Laws of Money, which are 24 principles of money that I use to help me get out of poverty on my way to financial freedom. Guys, take care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.